start talking about what you need to do in order to make sure your resume is enhanced and you have all the best information, you present yourself in the best possible way. When I graduated from college, I paid somebody, whatever it was at the time, $25 to make a resume for me. I thought it was great. I walked into the career services office actually for the first time at my state college. I handed it to them. They told me it needed to be completely redone. I was actually shocked. I thought, well, I paid somebody for that. Why would I have to have it redone? So I will tell you that I see this all of the time where people come in with resumes that were done by professionals or resumes that were done by their uncle who's an expert in resumes. And a lot of times those resumes do not actually meet the muster and have all the information that they need to be in order to be effective. So you have to be very careful with your resume, even if a professional does write it for you. I think one of the things you can do nowadays is after you have that resume done, whether you're doing it on your own or your uncle helps you or a professional helps you, you can actually utilize ChatGPT or other AI systems to evaluate your resume and see if it actually is addressing all the specific job requirements for that particular position, in addition to there not being any mistakes and being formatted correctly. Now, one of the things that's very important about ChatGPT, number one, don't assume what it's saying is correct. Sometimes it's correct, sometimes it is way off. Most of the time, it's somewhere in between. Don't take what it says as the absolute. It's like talking to the expert who wrote your resume. They could be correct, they could be completely incorrect, but you wanted to actually utilize it in a way where you use that guidance to make these things better. The other thing that's very important is making sure that you engineer your prompts correctly. You want to make sure that you're getting the best output from ChatGPT. It all depends on what you're inputting. So you want to make sure you tell ChatGPT who it is supposed to be, what it is supposed to be looking for to give the best possible information about the content of your resume. So you see here, what I did here is you are the hiring manager for Director of Career Services position, and you are a career expert. Then I asked it to evaluate the resume summary that I have on my current resume and suggest enhancements targeted to career services leadership. So I'm telling it exactly what it is that I want. Then I put in the actual summary. It's right on the top of my resume. I clicked it in, and it actually gives me evaluations. It gives me the strengths here. It gives me areas for improvement. It actually gives me an enhanced version. Now, again, I think the enhanced version sometimes is great, and sometimes you can incorporate almost all of it. Sometimes it actually needs help. I will also tell you one of the big problems I get nowadays when students or people come in with resumes, it is very, very obvious that their resume has been enhanced by AI, and you don't want that expert looking at your resume saying, oh, yeah, this is the person who used AI to create it as opposed to writing it on their own. But utilize this as a guide to see if you're in the ballpark, if there are other things you should be doing in order to make it better. Okay, so this tells you specifically why it thinks it works better. And actually, you can actually, at the end, if you wanted to put this in here, tailor it for a specific job description, pop that job description in there, and you can actually tailor each resume summary based on the actual job for which you're actually applying. Okay, same thing here, hiring manager for Director of Career Services position. And this time I actually asked it to redo some of the bullets that I actually have on my actual resume. And it says here, there are a few things we can do, more powerful action, varied action verbs, quantifiable outcomes. This is all great information because it gives me things that I can do to increase and improve on my resume. And here it is. You see, it actually gives some ideas as to how to change the words and what I could do in terms of actually including actual accomplishments and those kinds of things as well. So I think that's a very, very powerful way of making sure that you're getting that information across. You see here, this is an incomplete sentence and assist is too passive. So again, I think that's very valuable content for evaluating my resume. And if I were looking for a job, I would try to come up with other words in order to fix that. Again, I don't take what it says as the absolute truth, but it's a great indication of the kinds of things that are important. Okay, and here's some general recommendations. Now, after you're done with your full resume, you could actually ask it to evaluate the full resume. A couple of important things here. When you actually do this, make sure you're taking off all of your contact information and all of your websites, because what actually ends up happening is it will open source your information if you input it into ChatGPT without doing that protection for yourself. So make sure you take that off. You see here, I just called this resume 2025. I took off my name, I took off my LinkedIn profile, and I put it in there for the evaluation. And again, it gives me really, really great information about opportunities for enhancements on the entire resume, mistakes, and other suggestions that you could actually make onto the resume. And these are things that you can either choose to incorporate or choose not to incorporate. And I think it's very, very powerful when it comes to that. Just to show you how to do that, because it's not necessarily intuitive when it comes to a document. And the documents actually are something that you can actually do pretty simply now on ChatGPT. If you click the plus button right over here and you go into your documents on your computer, click that resume, and see that once this completes here, I could actually put in my prompts and then put it through, and it'll actually give me that evaluation of my resume. I think it's very, very important to do that and to utilize that information in ways that can help you in terms of improving your resume.